Hey everyone, John Giannone, Steve Valiquette. Here we are about to turn the calendar to the month of June. 4 teams can lay claim to the Stanley Cup. The New York Rangers are one of them. Steve, take the 30,000-foot view. That's a pretty amazing accomplishment as we sit.
It is, John. When you think about that, and then even in simpler terms, imagine if you go 8-6, you win a Stanley Cup. Is that really that hard?
Yeah.
Just so happens that it's the 4 best teams remaining, though. You got to go through the best to be lifting Lord Stanley's chalice over your head. We know how hard it is to do it. I think that the exciting part is you're getting close, but the difficult part is you're only halfway there.
Yeah, for sure. And Tampa Bay is the opponent. The Lightning, of course, the 2-time defending Stanley Cup champions, winners of 10 straight postseason series now after dispatching Florida in 4 straight. The series within the series, the game within the game, obviously in the West is McDavid against McKinnon. In the East, it's going to be the goaltender battle, Vasilevskiy against Shesterkin. So let's start there. Just put into context and put into perspective, Steve, just how good Andrei Vasilevskiy is and just how big this challenge is.
Okay, now, nobody's perfect, right? There's always something. And mobility-wise, he's elite. Positioning-wise, he's elite. First shot ability, he's elite. But when you have these instances where you can actually break somebody down, you have to almost use their strengths against them. And what I mean by that is if you're coming down the wing on Vasilevskiy and there's no chance you're going to score, and there are going to be certain angles and moments that happens, shoot off the pads. It creates a rebound. It can create some chaos. Toronto did it much better than Florida did it. It was too easy against Florida for Vasilevskiy. Toronto made it hard on him. I reviewed all the goals from the series. There was 22 of them, and only 4 were in the mid or upper part of the net. Everything was low. Talked about this post-game after Game 7 against Carolina when we were talking about the series. And I know just from watching Vasilevskiy all year that when he carries his glove, it's up here like this, and he'll come down with his hands. But he really wants to protect the upper part of the net or deter you from shooting high. Either way, all of the goals were in the lower part of the net, underneath his hands, and they were point shots, deflections, they were breakaways, and I think that you just can't let him get warm. And net front pressure with a lot of screening, and then shots that are low, and I don't mean low on the ice. They've got to be a foot off the ice, over the pad, but under the hands. And the plays off the pads, John, it's so annoying to be a goalie when you're assessing danger and you're getting in your stance and you're expecting a shot and they come in really close and then they pass off your pad. Marner did that on a 2-on-1 to Matthews, and it was brilliant in round 1. Those are the types of plays where you just have to take the mindset of, let's not let this guy be the difference maker. Let's not allow him to get comfortable and never have clear view on the puck.
All right, two more elements about Vasilevskiy. First, Rangers beat him twice in the regular season, scored 6 against him, including 1 in the final 15 seconds to win it 2-1 in Tampa in March. Will that matter at all? Does that at least give the Rangers the knowledge that they can chisel away at the air of invincibility that he brings?
You know what matters to, John? It matters to Mika Zibanejad. He's playing so well right now, all 3 zones. His one-timer is getting off as good as we've seen it over the last 3 years, and he's been on heaters at different points where, you know, it just blows your hair back. And not yours, but the one thing about the one thing about Mika though is he scored the goal on the power play right in that window. It was a low blocker shot, and he collected it and he shot it right away. He's not over dusting the puck. He's getting it off quick. I think Mika needs to know as a goal scorer that he can beat Vasilevskiy when there's motion to the play, when Vasilevskiy is in movement mode. If he can do that, then I think that's enough where I don't want to see Zibanejad not shoot because he doesn't think he can score from there.
Right.
So I think that does matter, having a little bit of history.
All right, so Zibanejad had a hat trick in the January 2nd game, scored that winner in the March 19th game. So 4 of the 6 Rangers goals against Vasilevskiy were scored by Zibanejad. The other element, this will be Andrei Vasilevskiy's first game in 9 days. It's that age-old rest versus rust argument. Which side of the fence do you fall on?
Well, okay, I know that it's very difficult to replicate two things in practice that you really need for a game, and that's touches, where you handle the puck because you don't feel that forecheck pressure that you do in a game in practice. And the second is screens. You can't replicate screens in practice because nobody's willing to stand in front of you and potentially get hurt in practice. So it's the first time where you feel that layer of pressure again and you can't see the puck. This is going to be a big component to this series, John, because I spent a lot of time today on Tampa Bay. And you know what's noticeable to me? It's screening by committee. I've got goals in the last two series with Stamkos in front, Perry in front, Palat in front, Cirelli in front, Killorn in front. It's ridiculous. It's everybody. It's almost like with the conversation you and I have been having in the green room, which is everybody has to check. Everybody has to screen. Everybody has to be a player that's willing to be in a shooting lane to block a shot, to stop or kill a play away from your net. To me, the DNA of this championship team that is Tampa Bay, they do those three things. But I don't mean just a couple guys, it's everybody. Everybody checks, everybody blocks, everybody screens. Now, that's the big difference that I see with the New York Rangers and them. I think the Rangers are going to have to take one more significant step to make sure everybody's in, John. Everybody has to go because they have everybody in on their side.
Yeah, and by and large, that has been a storyline of the Rangers through 82 regular season and now 14 postseason games. If there are one or two elements of the Rangers game, given what they've done in the playoffs versus what Tampa has done in the playoffs, what do the Rangers have to do to give themselves a puncher's chance in this series?
Well, I think that they have to play their game, and they know what that is. And I think their habits are in really good shape right now, especially in the defensive zone. Now, what are the Rangers going to have to do? They're going to have to really help themselves against what I believe is the league's best offensive zone team, Tampa Bay. What they're going to do, John, is they're going to try and drag the Rangers up to the upper part of the zone and outman them off a high cycle. Tampa Bay likes to spend a lot of time between the top of the circles and the blue line, and they want to 3-on-2 you up there. And then what they do is they try and send their weak side defensemen down. They have a lot of switches. There's a lot of indecision. If the Rangers are going to be successful in this round, they have to be able to read off of what Tampa is doing in offensive zone play, and they have to be communicating well so they know when these switches happen, and then hopefully they can exploit on a counterpunch, because there are the opportunities to get behind them, because there will be a forward back a lot because their D are aggressive off the points in the offensive zone.
Well, both teams are going to jump into the deep end of the pool Wednesday night. Game one at Madison Square Garden, 8 o'clock puck drop, 7:30 for the pregame show on MSG Networks and MSG Go. Steve will be there. Marty Biron will join us as well. Then we'll have a comprehensive 1-hour postgame. Game one of round 3. And it's the beginning of the fight for the right to play for the Stanley Cup. Looking forward to it, Stevie. Thanks, bud.
It's been an amazing ride. Let's keep it going.
Yeah.